afternoon, guys. It's December 17th. Today is a quadruple witching day, and we had a choppy quadruple witching today. Usually there is a move, during this day, but today we had a choppy. We were able to figure that out. That later on we may have a chop. So I'll explain you. So today, ES trusts the internals today. Now consider entire this area as a range, and price can actually move between these points, up and down, and even though it stays within that range, nothing is changed. Outside of that range we can have a clear clue for the day trading in future. But today this is the area, and this area will decide for the morning direction, right? And pretty much it decided in the pre-market from this area actually, right, to the downside, and then in RTH also this area held, right? So these were the sellers area. That was we discussed in the pre-market notes, that below this area sellers have a control. If price goes above it, then we will favor longs, something like that. And Q, this area, decision area, below sellers, above buyers. That was the instruction I gave in pre-market notes. And NQ pretty much stayed below, so favor sellers only, right? Russell, this area will decide, at the end. And this area of Russell went below it of the open a few points, and then damn thing reversed on it and then just stayed higher. So this area basically is still in the decision factor. Gold was ready to trade today to the upside, so favoring buyers, but gold has a tendency, damn thing always gets a rejection and goes back into garbage. So this was the key area, so I was hoping that it will break above this resistance, but then it got rejection and stayed below it. And then second area was so this area was a good area to go long, relying on this morning breakout, pre-market, but it damn thing just went through it and back to, there is another level I gave for intraday was 95 to 98, and I think it came back to 95, 98. So that's the last line for this push up, from the pre-market. If that area holds, gold will still go higher. It goes back below, it will be in a chop again, and gold is not ready for trading. Okay. Crude, I haven't looked at it today, so I'm not going to discuss about it, but these are the areas for crude today, to watch this. So I hope one of the level might have worked out for you. I haven't looked at crude today, so so going into the day, so this is what I put a note there, will decide today's price action most likely, or direction, right? And you can see it from here, it got a rejection, right? And also here, so when I published the note, it was around 6 o'clock or so, between 6 to 6:30 or somewhere here, when price was here. So this is where I said do or die area. This is basically, this and this, above both buyers, below both sellers. Okay, so that was the theme. So then we had a breakdown in the pre-market, so now we know more sellers are in control, right? And then of the open, price open here, went higher, and then boom, it just sliced through it, came straight to 46.02, right? So we were watching it. We didn't take any action. I did not take any action, because I was waiting for price to come back somewhere here, somewhere. However, this rejection happened because of NQ going towards its low and getting rejection from yesterday's low, right? So that was one of the trades that you can take, targeting Globex low. But ES, there is no trade because it did not even reach to higher up level. So ES no trade, but NQ you could have traded these things, up to here and then out. So I did not take this trade. I was waiting for ES to also go higher and then take a trade, but it just came down. So fine, we were watching it, but now the instruction was clear to stick with short. Then ES responded from this FOMC low, 46.02, where NQ got to Globex low, right? They both responded nicely actually. And at one point it feels like, okay, now price wants to trend higher, right? The way it was, the way it went higher. But our instruction was clear to stick with short. So when price got to here, I took a short, 26 right here. when NQ got to 824. 824 was not my level given to the subscriber. That was the real time level that I came up with. At the time when price was moving higher, I said 825 in NQ and 26 in ES. I shorted it. So don't ask me why, how I came up with 825. It's just the way I did it. So then we shorted it, and then 750 was the critical area. If this area holds it, price bounce back up, go higher, then most likely buyers are in. If price goes through it, sellers are back in business. So I think couple of folks took the exit here. Instead I held it because I said in Discord that ES will revisit 4602, and if it does, there is a chance it will go through it and go towards here or here. In NQ, this one was poor low 650. That was not my level, so most likely it will revisit and firm it up if there is a legit buyer, otherwise it will go through it. So I held it, both of them. So then ES went through this area, so I held it more, right? But NQ did not go below 650, right? And that was a warning sign. So when ES came back up here, I bailed out. NQ also I bailed out here, and that's where my trading was over. For Friday I do only one trade. Then we picked it up that hey, buyers are in control. Right from here I said in Discord that now buyers are in control because they couldn't hold below these two areas, right? But we cannot go long. But I also said we cannot take longs as long as price is holding below 68 and this 51, 55, right? So I said no longs until price goes above it, and if price goes above it, we have plenty of opportunity to go long later. That was the instruction I gave in Discord. So then price went higher. We knew the buyers are from here, so we just watched it all the way up to here. A couple of guys also told that can we go long. I said no, don't go long, and then finally it got rejection from here, right? But this one was a bold support, turn into resistance idea. You can actually technically shorts here, take a short, but since we knew that buyers are in control from here and from here, we didn't want to take a short, especially on quadruple witching day, because anything can happen. So we did not take that short, and then price went down. Couple of guys asked me, can we go long at here or here, right? I said no, do not take a long. And when price got here at 11:43, I posted a message in Discord stating, so right here at 11:43 I put a message that day is screwed up now, do not bother to trade for the rest of the day, and then no one traded it. We just took a day off at 11:43 onwards, and there is no trade. And then you can see it, price did not do anything else except if some of the subscriber, let's say if they have traded it, most likely it's a recipe to lose money. So I know none of them traded it, everyone took a day off, and it's a good thing because you can see it, price really never didn't do anything, despite quadruple witching, it did not move, so that's how it is. Some days are like that. You have to pick up early signs, for both sides, if there is a both sides, and then you need to also know that hey, now the day is screwed up, so don't bother to trade. So we just saved ourselves some time. We did some positive things, we talked about certain other things during that time, up to maybe I think up to 12 o'clock or 12:30, and then everybody took a day off, so but anyway, so this is the only trade we took, no longs, just a short, and then no trading after 11:43 a.m. EST. So that be all for today. Now one more thing, starting tomorrow, I'm not trading till January 3rd or 4th. So I'm taking a holiday time off, break from the trading, but I will publish a note and do the end of the video also till 22nd December, and then 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th I will take a day off, and then I will completely off, no pre-market notes, no videos, nothing. 27, 28, 29, 30, those 4 days, yes, I will do the pre-market notes and end of the videos, but no trading for me personally. January 3rd onwards, I'll be back on regular schedule. Okay, so I'll see you. Have a good holidays, guys.